Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJ Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today is something else, some other year, and it is so good to be here with my dear friend, Reverend Dr. Kelly Rogers, who just wants to go by Kelly, but not today.
Not today. Nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So we are in Birmingham, Alabama, after having journeyed with friends who are clergy from Westchester, with imams and priests and ministers and rabbis, and we have been learning. And not all of it's been simple, not all of it's been easy, but all of it's been sacred because we've done it together. And what we've been doing for 3 years is we greet each other, we say hello. There's our friend Judy, and there's Blair. Nice to see you. Hi, Chana. Nice to see you, too. I'm not going to greet everybody like I always do because there's a lot happening around us, and we have to get on a bus. But it is really an honor for us to be together. We sing a blessing, learn a little bit of Torah, and then we say, have a good day.
Great.
So here's the blessing. It's a melody that a friend of mine wrote. So, friends, wherever you are, sing along. Ya la 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 la, diddy ya la la la, diddy ya la 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 la. Ay, ay, la, 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 Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Kiddushanu B'mitzvotam V'tzivanu La'asok b'divrei Torah La'asok b'divrei Torah Hafoch ba v'hafoch ba La'asok b'divrei Torah Diddy-ay, lai, 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 lai Diddy-ay, lai, lai, lai Diddy-ay, lai, 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 lai Ay, ay, la, lai, lai. So, thanks. That was nice to hear your voice too. So, friends, a little bit about the parsha, but then I wanted to ask Kelly a question, Reverend Dr. Kelly, and I'm only rabbi. Yeah. So we're reading the beginning of Vayikra, the beginning of Leviticus,
Yep.
And among the things that makes it strange to read is how different it feels, the religious order of the book of Leviticus. Specifically, how priests are not quite members of the community.
Right.
They are and they aren't. They dress differently. They are kept separate from experiences of death. We pay taxes to them, which creates a very weird kind of power dynamic.
Sure.
And they offer sacrifices, which itself is a system that, on the face of it, feels like we don't do anymore, even if we could draw some parallels. It's something it's worship with body, which at least from a Jewish standpoint feels strange. So I'm curious not about the rituals themselves, that maybe you'll touch on them, but for a second, what does it mean to serve as a religious leader in and for community? Are we always of our community?
It's a really wonderful question because there's so much about the office of priest, right? Which is sort of, in my mind, like the how we do religion. But then there's a pastoral presence, which is the why. You know, we come into community with people and build relationship with people. I think that's incredibly important. And of course, we're called to be prophets of Torah, prophets of Scripture, and so there's that element too. It's a combination of teaching and coming alongside of building relationship, but also upholding a tradition that's critically important, but then sharing that tradition with others, which is why I feel so lucky to be on an interfaith trip. You know, I love doing interfaith work. I think it's really important, but also learning from each other, from our own traditions, and seeing just how much more we have in common than we have apart, right? So looking at it from the how, the why, the where, you know, we can do Torah anywhere. We can be in relationship anywhere. You know, we don't need to be contained within 4 walls or 3 walls if it's a sukkah. You know, we have lots of different things.
Listen to this.
I live in Scarsdale.
She knows her stuff. I chose the right person. Here we go.
But, you know, it's so wonderful because it is a calling of the world that we I think that call to be set apart is less important now because we are called to be in relationship and not set apart. I do think that there is some really important things about the priestly office, quote unquote, when we come alongside of people during life cycle events in particular, and they need that type of spiritual leader. But we're just Menachem and Kelly.
Right.
We're just people.
As you're saying that, one of the things that strikes me is the dance that sometimes we have to do.
Yes.
Because we function in symbolic ways in those moments of communal need or personal need. But that's a function, that's the how. But the why is actually not ascribed only to us. We take turns, as could any of the people that we're tending to take a turn.
100%.
Which I don't know it doesn't feel like that's reflected in the text itself.
Not exactly.
But it's maybe where we've evolved too.
It's interesting, on the back of our order of worship that we print every week, it says the ministers and it says all the people. Because we're all called in that way to minister to each other, and that's why we choose to be a part of a beloved community, right? You know, and as we commingle our beloved communities, we can find that, like I said before, we really have way more in common than we have.
Well, clearly.
Yeah.
Friends, see how lucky I am?
I'm the lucky one.
All right, friends, so here's one thing that I'm going to ask from all of you. First of all, to learn from what we just shared, but also to see that there's so much beautiful work ahead that actually we can take turns doing. I've always felt in our community, and this is, I forget, Penny is our friend who always counts how many.
760, I think she said.
760, right? So thank you for paying attention. Yep. Thank you, Penny. It is extraordinary to see how we can take turns, even when with the weird technology of Facebook Live, it seems like there's only one or two faces on the screen. It's all of us present. And I really hope that you'll step in, even more than you already have, to leading and teaching within the comments that you make, the community that we now are blessed, thank God again, to convene in person. Step in, because no one wants to be the priest all alone. No, we don't.
We are people.
Yeah, and thank God we get to share with all of you.
Yes.
So friends, let's sing our way into a good day. Thank you for being present with us. Thank you for sharing this with me.
Thank you.
Ya la 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 la, diddy ya la la la, diddy ya la la la, ay la la la. Bless you, friends.
Bless you.
See you tomorrow.